Another Killer Planes video.
The Killer Planes How-To Series. So we're going to drill a root rod into the wing, and the root rod is to hold the strap. Strap is to hold the wing on the plane as well as hold the fuselage together if you're going to use stuff like this. So strap goes through the wing would just want to pull right through it if this rod wasn't there. So we drill the rod in from the back, because this is the skinny part, all the way to the front. And we want to miss any rods that are going in there, so we've put the rods in that get installed in the plane, and we're going to put pieces in where the spars go, so we're going to miss them too. We want to drill right through without hitting anything, right? So we take our drill, so we want to aim along the flange, aim along the above the rods. There we are, and there we are, right? And drill through. And there it comes, right out at the front, right at the flange. Perfect, right? So then I take my rod, which is pre-cut, and I roll it in some Gorilla Glue. And I take it in and out. There we are. Now it's all glued up in there. And the last run, we want to spray some water on the rod so that the glue will expand the way it's supposed to. So we spray water on the rod, we push it all the way in, and we finish up with a stick. There we are. Done! Da-da-da-da! Now we can drill a hole through here to put a strap through, and it won't just yank right through the foam when the wing wants to come flying off. There it is. Okay, so now I have my rod in that goes along the root, and it's going to hold the strap when the wing is in. And now I have to locate anything that I don't want to go through, which are the spars in this case. 1, 2, 3 of them right here. So I'm going to put my strap right through here, just behind the main spar, right? And I'm going to mark that there, okay? So then I put my wing into the fuselage so that I get an exact mark of where the fuselage and the wing meet, which on this plane is right there at the top of that flange, right? And on the bottom, it's right there at the edge of the flange. So I'm gonna want my hole that's gonna hold the strap, that's gonna hold the wing, to be right at the edge of this flange here, right? Like so. So when my strap goes in, it's gonna be right against the fuselage, it's gonna hold the wing all the way in. So I know where my strap is gonna go, and I know where the flanges are. It's on an angle like this, right? So I want to drill through from the top and follow that angle and come out the bottom right at the edge of that flange, like so. There it is. Okay. And then I'm going to do it next to that and make sure I come out on the bottom next to the flange, like so, where I want it. Okay, and now I can move my drill back and forth between these two locations, widen that into a groove, right? Now I've got a wide hole in my styrofoam. Okay, so we have our vinyl tube and we have some boiling water, and we're going to drop the tube in there and let it boil. So you take it out, you put it down and immediately squish it flat and hold it there and let it cool off in this new configuration, which is going to be pretty much squished flat. Let's see how well it works. That should have pretty much cooled off by now. So now you see I have a flat tube, see that? I'm gonna do it with the other one. Ta-da! Now I have two flattened tubes, and that's what I'm gonna put my wing straps through. I have my little flattened flange, and I push it into the hole and test the fit, right? So here it is all the way in. I want to back it out a little bit so I can cut an angle on it to match this angle just for the heck of it. Same thing on the bottom, right? So I can pull. If you haven't got your length cut, this is the time to do it. Drill a hole through the wing, and then you can stick something through the hole to determine what the length is. Where it comes out the other side, there it is. That's your length. So I'm going to cut a little bevel on my flange so it's really nice. There you go. There's the top bevel. Here's my bottom bevel. There we are. So I have my top and bottom bevel on my flange. Now, we're prepared to glue the flange in. So I have my flange with a bevel. I'm going to fill it up with toothpicks so that it won't get filled up with hot glue. Right? And there it is. Now it's filled with toothpicks. So I can pull the toothpicks out, and theoretically the hot glue that got in there will come out with the toothpicks. I'm just going to glue this baby up like so and smear it on the outside using the hot glue gun, right? So now this is coated all the way around with hot glue. I want to push it in there before the hot glue cools off, right? There it is. Okay, my flange is all the way in, and I wipe off the excess hot glue so there isn't a big mess. Right, there it is, and I pull out my toothpicks, leaving the flange glued into the wing. 1, 2, 3, there it is. So now when my flange is glued into my wing, it is open so that my strap will go through it, and I'm just going to do the same thing on the other wing. Okay, I already know where the wing meets the fuselage, so I just got to locate the thing front to back. So I put the two wings together. And I'm going to go directly across from the first one to make the second one, which is going to be right there. I have a pair of flanges going through my wing roots to hold the strap that's going to hold them onto the fuselage. This is my preferred method of doing strapping onto the fuselage using cable ties. So this is the bottom of the wing here. You go up through the bottom of one wing, over across, and then down through the top of the other wing, and then put your other cable tie on like this, and you tighten both of these things right up against the fuselage on the bottoms, and you have a strap over and a strap under. Right, so this is how you strap on the wings. You take one of these things and you push it up through the bottom.
One of these things is a tie wrap.
This is a tie wrap. Through the bottom, through your little nice little slot that's glued in there just for this purpose, and down through the top of the other wing.
Let's see.
Right? So I have the beginning on the bottom. Then you take the other tie wrap and put the end through this bottom side. You make sure it's facing the right way. It won't catch if it's not facing the right way anyways. Then pull this end all the way up against the wing. So pull on this. Then put this second end on and push that all the way up against the wing. Right? Now you have two nubbies all the way up against the wings on the bottom, and you take this remaining strap and pull it tight. And there you are. Now you have the entire plane is held together around the fuselage so that some kind of destructive force isn't going to want to pull the top of this plane off. There are also rods in here that we put in, and there are rods inside the bottom. So now essentially these straps are holding together the rods that are in the plane top and bottom and the rods that we put in the wing front to back, and they're fit through these nice little plastic holders that we put into the wing. This is exceedingly strong, let's put it that way. Okay, and now I'm going to snip off the remaining ends of my tie wraps and put them in my pocket. And then to get this off, all you do is snip the tie wrap at any available spot on each side. And there it is. Our strap is on. We are ready to fly. It's holding the wings on. It's really holding on really well because we have our rods in the wings with rod in the top and in the bottom of the fuselage. So it's holding the whole fuselage together, holding the wings on. The single tie wrap, well, it's actually two of them, but it makes a single band going around the fuselage. Woohoo!